What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Super 7 Toxic Crusaders Toxie in his Radioactive Red Rage edition. So this is a figure that I believe came out last year, 2022, and this is I think the third iteration. We're going to get a fourth iteration in the Toxic Crusaders Wave, which is supposed to mimic the cartoons and the old vintage toys, which is pretty awesome. Super 7's banging out a lot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, and I've been a big fan of it. They are on Wave 10 now as far as the Ninja Turtles go, and finally we're going to get our first wave of Super 7 Toxic Crusaders. This is the precursor to that. There was the regular edition that came out first, then the glow-in-the-dark edition, which was I believe just the red, or the glow-in-the-dark edition. Now, this is the Radioactive Red Rage. Now, this has two features to it, which is cool. Why I chose this over just the glow-in-the-dark one. The glow-in-the-dark one has a whiter tinge to the plastic, where this has a green plastic tinge, whatever you want to call it. So I kind of liked the green a lot better for Toxic Crusader. It is gimmicky. Normally, I don't get too many gimmick-y type figures, but this is one that I thought was extra cool because it actually has two gimmick features, which is pretty awesome in my book. There is I want to say one or two drawbacks with the figure. We'll get to that in a second, but I just kind of wanted to discuss the packaging really quick. I normally don't go over packaging just because I don't care that much, but this is actually some pretty stellar packaging, and I got to point it out. It does differ from the original release and even the glow-in-the-dark edition. So there is the mailer box. That's what you get with the mailer box. I'm going to open this up really quick, and we'll get to what's inside, which is you got a little baggie that it's covered in. There's the baggie. Boom. And then you've got your Toxic Crusader cautionary tape. You've got your ultimate radioactiveness right there. You've got the Super 7 logo right here, ages 14 plus. This is meant for adults, essentially. Flipping around to the back, more caution tape and such. And I love the way that these Super 7 figures are set up as far as, that was gross. As far as a adult-themed collector kind of narrative toy. It says Toxie right here. We've got some like neons going on. We've got some ultraviolets going on here. We've got like neon green and blue, and then we've got this like brownish color, and then we've got yellow over here and a light sky blue. And then over here on top it says Toxic Crusaders. Flipping around to the back, very simple, nothing too crazy, straightforward. It says, warning, this package contains Toxie, the unlikable lumpy-headed hero. So that's pretty cool. And this is Toxic Crusaders logo right there. This is just really cool. Very nostalgia-based, very 90s, late 80s, early 90s based figures. And I think it's a really nice packaging. So, and like I said, it does differ from the glow-in-the-dark and the original release, which was much more subdued and tried to look a little bit more like the vintage action figure cards, which I think it'd be really cool if they actually just released them in the original cards, but I don't know if they can get away with that because of Playmates and all that nonsense. So there's the packaging. Just wanted to go over it really quick. Let's get the figure over here. This is everything that he comes with. I'm going to zoom in just a bit. And so yeah, he comes with a extra head, which is right here. Looks pretty cool. Whoa, hello. Looks pretty cool right here. This is the non-bandanaed head. So if you wanted to have him look a little bit more like, I don't know, maybe the movie, you could do that with that going on there. It's like a nice kind of translucent looking green plastic. The teeth are painted on, and they look pretty good. So are both the eyeballs, and he's got the bulging eyeball popping out of his head there. Looks pretty cool. All right, so here's the rest of his accessories. Toxie and his shield right here. Let me get him to stand up there. It says Toxic Crusaders. Got the Toxic Crusaders logo right there, and you can see that it's, you know, built out of like a plumbing pipe right there going into the the shield here. Pretty hysterical. Then we have the flag, which is a separate piece, and it just kind of clips on. It's different from the vintage toy. The vintage toy had just a sticker for the flag, and obviously this flag is different. And then we've got the mop. Let's get the mop out of his hand if I can do that. Oh my god, that's tight grip there, Toxie. This mop does not have the gimmicky feature where the ooze will pop out of the hole here as he's mopping up, giving kind of the illusion that he's mopping up, you know, toxic waste or whatever's on the ground. But really nice sculpt, nonetheless. He does hold it well. He can two-hand it if you need him to. And, yeah, no issues there. I do kind of wish that this wasn't there, though, this little stopper point, because sometimes it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to kind of get his hand up here and then the other hand down here. But you can do it. Next is his little buddy right here. Pretty cool. I actually kind of prefer this look for him as opposed to the kind of clear, translucent plastic that he came with in the original release, the regular release. Pardon me. But I like the painted eyes. That looks pretty cool. I wish they would have painted some of the teeth a little bit, maybe even the tongue. But I'll take at least the eye so you can see some details and stuff like there. So that's pretty cool. The grenades are removable. You can remove them off of here. And they're just kind of like a translucent orange color, which goes well. Cool little bits of detail there as far as that goes. Nicely done. The bandolier is a separate piece too. Now, this is kind of where I have issues with the figure. It's not mostly the figure, but it is the bandolier is very kind of, I don't know, cheaply made, and it's kind of been stretched out. You can remove it. I'm not going to do that right now. You can remove it off of his body. You have to remove the head, and then you'll have to kind of fish it over his arm and out, like so. Now, the only issue that I have really is there's a little bit of looseness in this ankle. And the bandolier is a little bit of a cheaper made kind of flexible, durable plastic where it's been on this body and package for so long that it's actually starting to stretch a little bit here where the grenade pocket or grenade slots are. It's starting to stress a little bit like right here and over here. Maybe it's not showing up on camera, but those stress marks are starting to show up. So just kind of be forewarned with that. I saw the same issues happen with the original release as well. But as long as I think I take it easy with the figure, I think it should be fine. He does have his holster on the back, so you can put the mop right in the back if you don't want to have him holding on to the mop. You can have it like that. This is his little peg for his little buddy. Just pop it on there, and he stays on pretty well. I want to say this head is probably my favorite head. The bandana head just always looked pretty iconic to me. But you can pop the head off. I do suggest heating up the joints just in case something crazy were to happen, but this is what he looks like with the alternate head on. There you go. And so if you want to have him look a little bit more like the movie, you could go with the bandana-less head. Really nice paint detail for the chest and upper torso. He's actually got some extra paint detail going throughout the shirt he's got, or the beginnings of the tutu. The differentiation between this one and I want to say the original version was, though the other two versions had the tutu, and this version does not have the tutu sculpted on. So that is a differentiation between this one and the others. But everything else, as far as sculpt-wise, is pretty on point with the others. The paint detail, like I said, it does differ. He's kind of got like almost like, it looks like jeans on here. And then he's got like a white wife beater shirt, which I like the variation. It doesn't bother me too much. It's not your traditional Toxie. He's a gimmicky Toxie, so I guess I don't mind it too much. And I think it's actually pretty fun differentiation, or a different version, I should say, or variation for the character and for the figure. But like I said, nice detail going throughout the shirt. And then the pants, really nice vibrant colors as far as the blues and the whites and the yellows and the orange, and mixing in with that yellow and the green plastic. Looks really good. Everything stands out very well. We've got a ton of different paint applications here with that, so you got a lot of variety just staring at the figure. It does kind of drag your eyes towards the figure quite a bit, especially with all the nice vibrant colors that he comes with the accessories and everything. I think it's a really nice little kind of conversation piece, even if you don't want to pose him in crazy dynamic poses. Now, the other two features that he does have is he does glow in the dark. So he does glow in the dark. That is a thing that does work. It's not the most it's not as glowy as the other version, the actual glow-in-the-dark version, but he does glow in the dark somewhat. So that is actually pretty cool, and you'll have to take my word for it. I tried turning the lights off to see if it would actually work on camera, and it doesn't really work on camera too well. So there's that to point out, but you have to promise me, because last night I sat this on my nightstand, and I went to sleep, and I have blackout curtains, and it was pitch dark in there, and you could absolutely see him glowing in the dark. Like I say, he's not fully glow in the dark, but you can see aspects of the figure glowing in the dark, which is pretty cool. Now, the main feature of it, that's the first feature. Second feature, main feature, is the Red Rage edition, which is pretty cool. If you take him out in the sun, he's pretty much like a Zartan. He will change color in the sun to like a red hue, like where all his bumps and, dysphoria is. Dysphoria? I don't think that's a word. Disfigurement, I'll say. But it is there, and I'll actually kind of cut to an outdoor segment right now just to show you how he looks outdoors, and then maybe I'll try and cut to a segment with him glowing in the dark.
All right, so here is my best attempt to show you his color changing ability. He's actually already changing, and he's not even in the sun yet. But here he is, and here he is. It's a nice sunny day out. It's beautiful out here in South Carolina, and he is already changing color. Clearly the mop and his other accessories don't change color, but his body does. And you can see how like red he is and such. It's pretty cool, man. I dig it. I think it's a fun little thing to put into the plastic. And it does go on to the back. And there is Toxie. He looks great. All right, I am in a pitch black room, and you can see he is really glowing. He is supercharged from just being outside, and wow, this looks awesome. It's so cool that this has multiple features like this. I absolutely love it. So cool. But yeah, man, he really glows in the dark, and I mean, this is my room. This is what I sleep in. It's broad daylight out, and you can't see anything in this room. But he is sick.
Okay, as far as articulation does go with Toxie, his head can swivel at a full 360 rotation if you need it to. Both heads swivel. You get the same amount of range of motion out of both heads, so you don't have to worry about anything there. The head can look up. Not so great. A little bit up. That's about neutral. That's about up. Down, it's okay. Not really that great. Arms go up about that far. They go down. Full 360 rotation in the arm. He does have a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow for him. So no elbow swivel, but just a bicep swivel and a single bend, and then a swivel at the wrist. He does have a lateral hinge joint on both sides. So no vertical hinge joints for him. Not that he needs it. He does crunch forward. He does crunch back. He's got the same amount of limitations as like a Motu Classics figure. He can swivel at the waist as well. He can do the splits about that far. Legs can go forward. And this one's a little bit more frozen. There we go. I loosened it up a little bit. Legs can go forward about that far. Like I said, very similar to a Motu Classic figure. Upper thigh swivel. He does have a single jointed knee. And he does have a boot swivel. He can pointy toe, pointy heel, and he does have ankle pivot. It is there. No toe articulation, not that it's needed, just something to point out that he does not have that. So overall, I would say it's adequate articulation. It's not what you would expect from a figure from 2022, 2023, if you're buying it right now. But I will say this, the figure was on sale. I picked him up for $18 and change off of Entertainment Earth. They had a nice little sale for the figure. I've seen him go on Amazon as of per the date of this video for about anywhere from $30 to $35. So I think even spending that amount of money, I think you're still getting a good bang for your buck. Even though he doesn't have the best articulation, I mean, how much are you really going to be doing with articulation-wise with a Toxie figure? I don't know. That's entirely up to you. The grenades do sit in the bandolier pretty decently. Sometimes they pop off. It all depends on, how you go about putting them in. You might have to, loosen it up a little bit. See, there goes one right now. But they do want to go in there, as I have another hair sticking in there. I just love hairs everywhere. The joys of owning 3 dogs. But they will sit in there. And like I said, here's some of that stressing I was talking about. I don't know if you guys can really pick that up, but there is some stressing on the bandolier. And I think that's just kind of due to these grenades kind of wanting to pull on the bandolier a little bit. But everything can sit on him, as you can see in the beginning of the video. So there's no issues there. The flag, I don't necessarily want the flag, I think, on here. It is a part of the original toy and everything, but I think because he's a different version, can I get the hairs off of here? My God. I think because he is a different version, I might have him without his flag on there. It's just a little bit of added unnecessary weight, and it takes up real estate where I could have him two-hand this and maybe even fit the shield on his back, which you can fit onto his back, kind of like he's pulling a Captain America right now. But let's get him two-handing his weaponry. If you wanted to have him kind of hold it, that's like the starting points. You'll have to, like I said, if you want his hand to go up further, you'll have to work it in where you kind of open up his hand a little bit and then get it over this little section right here. But he can hold the mop if you need him to. And I'm going to get him to like some sort of like power stance. I kind of wish that they went a little bit crazier with Toxie and these figures would have kind of continued. It would have been cool to see this line continue, and maybe we would have got different versions, like a rocker Toxie. That would have been awesome. Because when I think of Toxic Avenger, it makes me think of like, I don't know, some sort of like punk rock, inspired or themed hero, like Toxie thinks, it reminds me of like something punk rock. I don't know. It just does. But there is Toxie. I would definitely give him a 2 thumbs up. I think it's worth the money, especially if you get him at a discount price like he's going for. I'm not sure if he's still up on Entertainment Earth for that price that I got him, but the Amazon price I know is still available as, like I said, per the date of this video, so be sure to check the date of the video. But I would say overall, this is a solid-looking figure. He's on the old Motu body as far as the base for the body. The sculpting is unique to him, and it's nice to see a little bit of variation between this one and the original. And I'm looking forward to the Toxic Crusaders line, and I hope it does continue and it does thrive, and we get at least Dr. Killamoff, I know we're getting Junkyard. We're getting the Toxic Raider, I believe it was. And I'm hoping we get No Zone and Headbanger and the rest of the crew. That would be amazing. If we could at least get the original figures done in Super 7 form, I'd be very happy. Everything's pretty cool, though. Like I said, I love the double feature of the figure. I think that's a better selling point than just the glow-in-the-dark one. And I think the green really sells the figure. It's all these nice, cool, awesome, vibrant colors that we kind of grew up with if you're in that age range of, late 70s, early 80s, adults, that Generation X through early millennial era. So, and even if you're not, you just like vibrant colors. You could be any age. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what age you are as long as you like it. But I think it's pretty cool. It does grab the eye, and no pun intended with that eye. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, definitely an awesome figure. Go check them out. Be sure to hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. Leave a thumb up. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 5K subs this year. That is a goal of mine. And yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know how awesome you think the figure is or not so awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.